So yeah, Sony has always been very active into integrating video capabilities into mirrorless cameras. Nikon purchased Red, and we are waiting for the new product coming from this merger. But what happened recently? M-mount Alliance also included Blackmagic. Let's see together what that means. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thomas Love here from One Lens Only, and today I am dreaming because they just announced, basically it's almost official. You just need to wait a couple weeks, but in February Panasonic will release the S1R, and then Leica has the SL3S, and then we have the S5II from Panasonic. So we have different cameras, but there's only one camera missing in the pipeline, which is the S1H. And now I am dreaming because Blackmagic just announced, and you can Google it, it's an amazing product, the Cine 12K from Blackmagic, because it uses a new pattern instead of the BM filter, and I am dreaming that the S1H might have that very pattern instead of the regular BM filter, because otherwise the sensor is always more or less the same. The phase detect, the stave, everything is very good. You can integrate codecs, you can integrate a proper HDMI port. But what is the real breakthrough? The real breakthrough is something that did not exist before. Now, the Blackmagic pattern for this Cine 12K camera is an RGBW. So they integrated also pixel that will only gather white light. And so this takes me back to the black and white monochrome sensors from Leica, because they only gather luminance and shadows. And so what if we could merge the two and have the best out of it? This is what Blackmagic was able to do with the Cine 12K. Now, 12K, it's a large format sensor. We don't need it for stills, we don't need it for photography, we don't need it even for 4K recording into our mirrorless cameras, because let's face it, these cameras are hybrid, but we don't need these huge files, complete terabytes of files, because then we don't have the processing power that is needed. While if you are recording and producing cinema, then that's a different thing. But why don't we take the best out of it? Now, the RGBW, it means that integrates. In this Blackmagic version, it's a 6x6 pattern, so every pixel, they will have half of the pixel gathering only light, white, and then they have half of them, 1/3 each for RGB. And so the light that gets filtered by the filter in front of the sensor is far less, meaning that much more light reaches the sensor, and this helps in managing the ISO and also for low light recordings. Now, if you transpond it into photography, because this was all about videos, if you transpond it into photography, that might be a killer product, because we all know monochrome sensors gather much more light compared to the ones that have the BM filter in front of it, and this is why monochrome Leicas are performing so well in low light. And then you have this huge dynamic rate in the Cine 12K, because they have more or less 6 f-stops of dynamic range, which is still to be beaten. And so I'm dreaming about this Panasonic S1H to come, integrating, of course, the best stave in the business, because Panasonic owns the best stave in the business, phase detect, which is quite reliable. It's not comparable to Canon level. Sony just follows. Panasonic is comparable to Sony, I have to say. Very pleasing, very good, very well done. What if they also would integrate this RGBW filter instead of the BM filter in front of the sensor for this S1H? Because we saw the S1H Mark II shall be outperforming the S1H and the S5II. And so what can be new? I thought this might be the case. This brand new filter that will allow this camera to gather much more light, to have a better dynamic range, lower ISO, better low light performances, and we are expecting it because, guys, it's 2025. All the cameras that have been released more or less in the last year or two, they look alike, they're almost all the same. Now, camera producers, they want to earn back the target users that they lost towards smartphones over the years. This is happening. They are targeting compact cameras. We discussed this already. If you missed the episode, please find it up here. And they will have to gain back the video makers that are recording everything with their iPhones. And so we saw Fuji releasing this XM5 with the open gate capabilities in a small body. So it's cheap, it's pocketable, and it's powerful. And then Sony, they have a plethora of products. You can pick up the ones that resonate the most with you. Panasonic gave us this S9. We are still waiting for April for the announcement of the brand new product, which we figured it might be an alternative, a Lumix alternative to the Leica Q3. We discussed this already. If you missed this episode, please find it up here. And then what about this M-mount alliance? Now, Leica is not so active in developing technology. Panasonic is, so they might be the ones taking the best out of Blackmagic. I'm thinking about a potential S1H Mark II when they are having this RGBW filter in front of the sensor that comes from Blackmagic, and the digital stay in addition to the IBIS, the digital part coming from DJI, because DJI, they refined their digital state. You have no warpiness in the corners, you have no movements, it doesn't have any focus breathing. It might be the case because the technology from DJI paired to a physical IBIS in a camera, that would be also great. I don't know, 8, 10 f-stops compensation for movements. That would be great, paired also with the luminance gained by the RGBW filter. So guys, dream with me. Let's wait together for the release of this brand new S1H Mark II, because it has not been announced nor rumored yet, but we all know this is coming this year. It's about time. And so let me know down here in the comments, what are you waiting for this S1H Mark II to have? What are the features that you will need the most and to help with your workflow? And if you are a professional, a prosumer, an aficionado, Lumix like I am. And with that, I hope you got some value out of this video. If you did, please remember to like it, share it on your social media, subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the new videos to come. And I guess I will see you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.